Okay, hello, this is Azrael, and in this video we're going to be talking about the Wiccan deity concept. Now, this is a very big subject, so I'm going to have to generalize it, and as you progress through the year, the holidays, and uh, the Wiccan holidays, you're going to come up with your own specific deities that you find that you will agree with. Now, not all Wiccans, of course, agree on what is deity. Okay, I've actually come across a couple of Wiccans that don't even believe that the god and goddess are actual concepts. That deity itself is not really alive, like consciously. It's just a life force. And I've met some Wiccans that don't even accept the God concept. And I've come across some Wiccans that are actually monotheistic and only believe in one God. And some of their logic is pulled from how most Wiccans choose or understand deity. Okay, so how this works is that most Wiccans, pagans, and witches see deity as the supreme creative life force. This life force is so far beyond our human understanding. The only way we can understand it is through nature. And when you go through nature, it separates itself into two entities, basic concepts of entities. You have the goddess and the god. Now, with this line of thinking, every god and goddess ever conceived or worshiped are aspects of this supreme creative force. So if you're worshiping Hera and your friend is worshiping Venus, your boyfriend's worshiping Zeus and his friend is worshiping Odin. In the end, both of you, all of you, are not wrong. You guys are all worshiping the same deity, but a different aspect. So I'm repeating this to make it clear. Now, the polarization of the male and female aspect is seen through nature. Masculine, you have fire and air. Feminine, you have earth and water. The moon is usually associated with the goddess because it has the waxing, full, and waning, which is also associated with the three aspects of the Wiccan goddess, or the triple goddess: maiden, mother, crone. And the god is associated with the sun. Now, here's some of the symbols that of Wicca with their gods. You have the god symbol, and you can see that with the full moon and then the crescent moon on top, which gives it the horns, because in Wicca the god is usually derived with horns on his head. Uh, Nunos, if my memory serves me correctly, a lot of Wiccans revere the name of that god as the god of Wicca. He's usually seen with horns on his head, and he's sometimes, most of the time, he's half man, half animal at the bottom, and he's the god of the hunt. We'll get into all these aspects, but yeah, that's his symbol. And then you have the triple goddess, which is this symbol, and you see the center moon here and the crescent moon here on both sides, which gives the three aspects of the goddess. And it's important that whatever deities you use resonate with you. If you have a problem with some of the symbolism of a specific god, for example, let's say you're anti-war. Well, you probably wouldn't want to worship a god of war. Now, again, this god of war is still a manifestation of of deity, but it doesn't sit with you. Now, you might petition or invoke that god of war one day if you need some extra strength to make a stand against something that you're afraid of. But again, it's got to resonate with you. And we're going to go even further into the god and goddess aspect of Wicca. When we go into the 8 holidays, you have uh, the quarters and the cross quarters, as they're called. And the Wicca concept during these times, the god and goddess do different things, which we will go into. And this is going to be a long process because when you're talking about the deities, it's fairly simple, but at the same time, it's there's a lot of information. For example, the god dies on Samhain, for example, in the Wiccan tradition, and is reborn during Yule. And the goddess also goes through different changes through the year. But anyway, um, here's a couple of popular names for the Wiccan goddess and the Wiccan god here. Um, I definitely suggest you guys do a lot of research on their background. The more you know, the more you grow. Well, my wife is going to recite a poem called "The Charge of the Goddess." If you Google "Charge of the Goddess," you'll find this out there, and you'll probably find a couple of different renditions, and you'll even find a couple of charges of the gods of God. Um, I just like this one. This is one of my favorites, and I'm going to have her read it to you.
Hear ye the words of the star goddess, she in the dust of whose feet are the hosts of heaven, and whose body encircles the universe. I, who am the beauty of the green earth, the white moon among the stars, and the mystery of the waters, call unto thy soul. Arise and come unto me. I am the soul of nature who gives life to the universe. From me all things proceed, and unto me all things must return. Before my face, beloved of gods and of men, let thine innermost divine self be enfolded in the rapture of the infinite. Let my worship be within the heart that rejoices, for behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my rituals. Therefore, let there be beauty and strength, power and compassion, honor and humility, mirth and reverence within you. To thou who thinkest to seek me, know that thy seeking and yearning shall avail thee not, unless thou knowest the mystery. If that which thou seekest thou findest not within me, thou wilt never find it without. For behold, I have been with thee from the beginning, and I am that which is attained at the end of desire.
Okay, a quick recap of the Wiccan deity structure is very complex. Many Wiccans have their own different interpretations and variations. What I have given you here today is what most 20th century Wiccans believe, most notably Gerald Gardner, who is the father of modern Wicca. He believed and taught that the god and goddess are the god and goddess of tribal witches from the British Isles. They come to us in the form of a horned god of hunting and death, and associated with the forest, and a goddess who is the giver of all life, and she's the goddess of regeneration and rebirth, uh, even from the souls of the dead, as reincarnation is a strong belief system in the Wiccan concept of afterlife as well. The goddess is heavily associated with the moon and the sea, and she has three aspects: maiden, mother, crone. As we go through our studies, you will learn uh, more about the gods and how they react with the year. And if you choose to practice magic and use the symbols of the gods in your magic, you'll learn what kind of magic goes best with different aspects of these deities, and what kind of magic is more potent during what time of the year, what kind of energies are flowing. So right now, you have enough to pick your pantheon and start revering and knowing what Wicca believes. And until we go into our other studies, merry meet again, and blessed be.